Hey everybody, it's Renee here, and I want to know, why do you craft? So, the reason I'm asking you this question is I've been a maker my whole life, and scrapbooking in the sense that we know for over 20 years. And my reasons why I started on my scrapbooking journey initially have changed compared to why I do it now. So for those of you who are like myself, I turned 50 in this past year, I want to know, why do you still craft? If you've been scrapbooking or crafting as long as I have been, are your reasons still the same? I work in a crafting store, and I hear from so many different makers who do it for different reasons. And for me now, I know the reasons why I do it have changed from why I started over 20 years ago. When I first started, I wanted to get back into an artistic kind of way of doing things. I was a mother, and I've always been crafty. Art is my thing and always has been my whole life. That's all I ever did in school. But I didn't really know I could get into it and still do something crafty and make memories for my family. And preserve our memories. So once I got into that, I was hooked, and I knew I would be hooked. I loved it, but a lot of me, the whole reason I did it was for the artistic purpose. It wasn't for preserving my memories, which, I mean, it was nice to do that, but for me it was for the artistic feel. So now that my kids are in their 20s and grown up in the digital age, where they have known Snapchat and Instagram, and whether it's Facebook or making their own videos, they've had access to photos their entire life. So after talking to them and finding out, do you want the albums I created for you, and hearing not really, your reasons for scrapbooking and crafting sometimes change. And I know a few years ago when I went through this, I started thinking that because I've crafted and created for so many years, I have over 70 albums that I've created that are just in my house, let alone the ones I've created and gave away as gifts. So I want to find out from you, do you create for the same reasons you did before? I would love to hear in the comments, because I hear so many different answers. A lot of people are just getting into it due to the pandemic, and having many friends who crafted and created. They got into it themselves and watching videos on YouTube. And a lot of people are coming back to it that never did before, because they had so much time on their hands and they still had all the products that they started crafting again, which I think is awesome. But for me now, I know I've branched out. You've probably noticed on my on my YouTube channel, there's not as many scrapbooking pages, because honestly, I don't really scrapbook that much anymore. I make a lot of pages for the store I work at, and by doing that, I then turn around and sell them afterwards, because I don't do a lot of scrapbooking anymore, truth be told, but I do a lot of other things. So I do my traveler's notebooks, I do my junk journals, I do my art journals, and I make the odd scrapbook page here and there, but not a lot. I enjoy making them, but for me now, it's more of a space issue. Again, 70 albums. So for me, it's a space issue. But I want to know, why do you do it? Are you doing it because you enjoy crafting and you like having those things to preserve? Or it's for yourself and you want to create it? Or are you making these things to give to your kids or your loved ones? What is the reason that you craft? For me now, I don't even have to have a picture on something I make. I just like making. And I am going to get more into the making and selling on my Etsy page or on Facebook Marketplace or wherever, because I just like creating. And I love when other people enjoy what I make. But I know, truth be told, I'm sure my family is getting sick of all of my creations I make for them, because I've made so many. Back in the 90s, before I really got into paper crafting the way that you're seeing on my channel, I probably from the late 80s actually, into all of the, excuse me, I have the hiccups, into all of the 90s. I probably, my big thing was making decoupage boxes, which I think is really making a comeback now. But I loved, especially vintage decoupage paper, tissue, all that kind of stuff that you see a lot of now. And I made a lot of creations with them. I painted them, I waxed them, I did a lot of stuff like that, and that was huge for me. And my loved ones all received many of those, I think, and Christmas ornaments and all kinds of stuff. That was my big thing back then. I've made scrapbooks my whole life. Even when I was 10 years old, I've made scrapbooks. So just the way which I made them changed. So they're a lot more fancier now because I had the money to make them. But before, you know, it was ripping things out of the Sears catalog, or you know, finding things around the house. So when you think about it now, that was more junk journaling. So I enjoy crafting, I love doing it, but my reasons for why I do it have changed. So I want to know, have the reasons you do it changed? And that's basically my reason for making a video about this, because I hear so many people come into the store and so many people I talk to on a regular basis that tell me that their reasons for making and creating have changed considerably, or they're not sure if they want to get into crafting, especially scrapbooking, because they want to make things for their kids, but do their kids really want that? And honestly, I think maybe eventually down the road they might, but the kids of today, and all the Gen Zers, as my kids tell me they're called, they've grown up with photos and things online. Like, it's at their beck and call. They don't have to have paper photos anymore, which, I mean, it's so different, because you think of back when we were kids and we had our pictures taken at school, we had them printed. You know, the days of print are kind of lost. You see a lot of printing shops, like even in Costco, all of them closing down because people just don't print anymore. So you start to wonder, how can I change that, or do I want to get into it? Because as everybody knows, paper crafts, especially scrapbooking, well, scrapbooking for sure, it's not cheap. So as much as we enjoy it, why do you do it? What do you love about it? What's your philosophy on it? I would love to know comments. So give me your comments. I'm not dishing this, obviously. I love crafting. I love paper crafts. I just want to know, why do you do it? Because I find so many people's reasons are so different. So leave me your comment down below and tell me, why do you craft and what do you get out of it? And are you crafting for yourself, or are you crafting for your family? Thanks for watching, everybody. Have an awesome day.